Well wishes to you. Good energy to you. Those of us, the renegades. So this is just to expound on some insights that I got after I did the Mariah Carey Summoner of Spheres and Celestial Conductress. The two first cards out were Beauty and Pessimism, because the second insight I had about those cards, Mariah's beauty, her inner beauty, her outer beauty, herself, lifted us out of our negativity, out of our pessimism. She, songs like Anytime You Need a Friend, Make It Happen. She redid Michael Jackson's I'll Be There. Songs to lift and support. Mariah had the gift. And she was able to help people lift their pessimism. And then narcissism, Orion energy came out. Orion energy came out twice. So see, I'm just looking at what deck I want to use. And yeah, let's do that. Native Heart Healing Oracle and the Sacred Oracle of Light. Okay. And when Mariah performed again, I'll reiterate, she filled stadiums. And it wasn't nothing but Mariah, a microphone, a chorus, and a band. A huge chorus. 1:44 was just on the clock. She was dressed appropriately. She wasn't popping her twat. She wasn't twerking. She didn't have her body completely exposed. She wasn't talking about degeneracy. She wasn't, selling trash. It was just her. She was a class act. And she had a couple mini dresses on. I'm not saying she wasn't sexy, but she wasn't selling sex for a living at that time. And she was like our golden child, and if you look at the footage that I posted on my channel of the two videos, where it's just like, again, there's no show, there's no backdrop, there's not all these movies and rituals and none of that. There's no bunch of dance. Sometimes she would have a dancer on a funky tune or two, but it wasn't about dancing. It was just Mariah and her beautiful voice that wasn't audio tuned, that sounded exactly the same in person as it did on the album. She was the real deal. People came to hear her sing, to watch her do her thing. So Mars also came out. We had Orion energy, we had Mars. So Mariah is definitely gifted, and learning those gifts of those octaves. If she had the wisdom and the knowledge, the teacher to teach her, she could have. I'm trying to put what I'm downloading into words. She went to Hollywood, she went to the entertainment business, she learned how to use her voice for them. But there's other layers and dimensions to her gift. And, we had Animal Messenger, we had Message in a Dream, but Animal Messenger, the dolphin, that was what prompted that reading. So Mars, the Stargates on Mars, right? She's the siren of the Stargates. Those, higher octaves. Whew. And we have Earth Star Chakra on the bottom of the deck. So let's get some Compendium of Constellations. What do you have? Guard. Ooh. Draco, of course, and Aries sacrifice. Yeah. Enhance. Not on our watch, friends. Not on our watch. Not on our watch. But the Chante Moores, the Minnie Rippertons, and the others that can hit those octaves, and the handlers that kept them, the Whitney Houstons too. I don't know. I'm not familiar with like Whitney's like higher range. I know that she was very impressive, you know, in opera circles, and you know, she got the respect that she deserved. Clean this camera here. It looks a little foggy. Better. Okay, word. So we have Aries and Draco. Guard. Sacrifice. Yeah. Shoot. So surrender, that's about trusting your instincts, radical submission to fate, going with the flow. I mean, guard and sacrifice, yeah, we already, I mean, I don't... Was she going to be sacrificed and she was protected? Objective, whoa. Bravery on the bottom. I get this energy of she surrendered to God, surrendered to austerity, fear, support, ambition, with create on the bottom of the deck. Earth star chakra, solar plexus chakra, and dream shield. See, Hollywood, the entertainment industry, they fill you with this false sense of achievement, and this false sense of you achieved your dream. I mean, Hollywood cast the spell, right? The druids used the wood from the holly tree to make their magic wands, and the wizards, all that. So, you know, Hollywood is about casting a spell over the gifted and chosen ones, drawing them in like a moth to a flame, being able to keep them close and keep an eye on them. Kind of makes sense with that whole Church of Scientology bullshit, doesn't it? And it's interesting that we got a seahorse here. We got another sea creature here, because again, it was her octave, the video that's prompted this. You can go watch the other one that I did, but it was because she hit an octave in a pool with the dolphin, and the dolphin went apeshit. And I thought about it, like how many people are able to hit that octave and speak to, like in Splash, when Daryl Hannah, when he said, "What's your name?" and Mariah can do that. Chante Moore can do that. Minnie Ripperton can do that. And others. But those higher octaves, not everybody can hit. That's not their register. So tell me about surrender. Yeah, they tried to surrender her happiness and her emotional fulfillment. Man, down the bottom of the deck, the Four of Swords, with distraction of abundance and lushness and lavishness and elegance and extravagance. You know, when the angels stopped me when I was ready to go to the entertainment industry, and we were looking down that timeline together, and they were like, yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? It looks amazing. I mean, from this vantage point, who wouldn't want that? The money, the attention, the travel. And the thing is I've been on stage. I've gotten standing ovations before. I've performed before. So I know what it feels like to be on the stage. I know that feeling. And that also, not only that, the energy that comes from the crowd that you receive, like that clip when Beyonce was like, I feel like I could run 5 miles, or I feel like I could run a mile after a concert. Yeah, I know what that energy is about. So yeah, they use, and also to manifest came up a lot yesterday too, to manifest their own wealth and abundance and vanity. So, and again, 10 of Cups is like dreams come true, emotional fulfillment, happiness, joy, abundance. There were a lot of things that got sacrificed in her life to make her surrender to their objective. And that's how a lot of us are, you know? A lot of us, looking at Mariah's path, we can look at our own lives, right? And we can see, look, and then I have create, love, and hunt. She created love. She created love within the self, They can't have that. They need that negative ion charge or that negative charge in order to maintain the grid. But yeah, Mariah, they it's like I'm getting from this energy that something was forfeited for earthly pleasures. They sold her a false dream, a false sense of security, a false sense of this is it, I've achieved everything. And that's what Hollywood does. And then look at how many people end up broken at the end of Hollywood. That's what made me, when I was younger, wake up to the entertainment industry, was like, why is everybody so jacked up at the end of their careers? They're drug addicts, they're alcoholics, their faces and bodies are unrecognizable, or they're miserable, or they're constantly chasing that high of being on stage or being whatever, fill in the blank. And I felt and sensed like something ain't right, like something ain't right. But as me and the angels look down, or the angels and I, however it is, forgive my ignorance for not being able to remember, but we were looking down that timeline, and they were like, yeah, it's great. And it's like almost like a romantic, the grass looks greener on that side. And they said, who wouldn't want that? It's exciting, it's extravagant, like it's fun for a minute. And they said, like Beyonce, when Destiny's Child, when they first became famous, they said she went into a huge depression, because she said, she didn't give a lot of details about it, but she said she had finally made it and it was nothing like she thought it was going to be. It's interesting, like we got this 9, 10, as we had the 10 came out first, 9. It's like some kind of backwards energy, some kind of like reverse energy, reversing what she came here to do. And the Earth Star chakra is on the bottom, and that's the manifesting chakra, the super root manifesting chakra. So they did not want her to manifest. And then also I'm getting Stargate. Stop it. Yeah. The Earth Star Gate. Oh wow, too many cards. But she surrender to the sweetness of life, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. With things are being woven, it's not time yet. There's a wait going on. I think Mariah is going to make a comeback. And I think that she's going to be inspired by something. Not to say that she hasn't ever before. And when I talk about like how she's a Stargate siren, a celestial conductress, a caller of the spheres, a sphere summoner. And then she's singing hooks on rap songs. It's no diss, it's just like she's been turned around or put to sleep, like all of us star children are. Distracted, led astray, because there's not an awareness, a knowing, right? But we have this Venus, this pleasure, this joy, this make love to life, surrender to the sweetness. Ambition, support, fear, and austerity. Yeah. Supporting her dreams, supporting her, like, they use your dreams against you. They use what you think, you know, stardom and fame and being on stage in front of people, they use that against you. But Mariah, 6 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Energy. One thing I always loved about Mariah is that she loved her people. I never got that feeling from Mariah that she was like, you know, she didn't have a problem with people, the color of people's skin. That's what I would like to say about Mariah. She, you know, and how could she when she comes from, you know, somebody who is of color. So, you know, she's mixed race. Surrender to the sweetness. Mariah is going to surrender to the sweetness, though. She's going to surrender to the love and the joy. And 6 of Cups, that's it. 2 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, yeah. So, you know, she was ambitious, and again, there's this energy of using her dreams against her, or manipulating her dreams to be what works best for them, other people. But as the angels and I looked down that timeline, the angels were like, you don't want to go down there though, because that world will chew you up and spit you out. So we have the 7 of Cups, another card of dreams, making the right choices. With the 8 of Wands, the fire horse, the 8-legged horse, the energy of the fire horse year. Wow, being able to fly, jump over any obstacle, nothing can stand in your way. 8 of Wands, rapid movement. Let's read. What time is it? All right. I'm gonna wrap this up real fast. I'm gonna read this. Where did it go? From the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. I can find the guidebook. Here it is. Here we go. The 7 of Cups. And we protect Mariah. Maybe that's why this reading is coming out. Because we're not going to let them sacrifice Mariah. The Selkie. The Selkie. The Selkie. S-E-L-K-I-E. Selkie. Usually appearing as a seal in the water. Shut your front door. I don't know what sign Mariah is, but she might be a water sign, but she has look at all this water. We got 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups. We got this Venus energy. Usually appearing as a seal in the water, the Selkie has the magical ability to assume a human form on land. That's our girl. The Selkie on this card contemplates the contents of the 7 chalices, each holding a different treasure or promise. Yet, she is disappointed because she doesn't see what she wants. Material and spiritual aspects are casually tossed aside or overlooked. Material and spiritual aspects are casually tossed aside or overlooked. Divinatory meaning: goals are abandoned too soon, drifting between different places, people, or jobs only brings disappointments. Magical uses: this card is useful in removing negative or unclear thinking so you can make the choices and get the outcome you want so your dreams can come true. They have influenced her into going into a different direction for their personal wants and needs, for their agenda. Yep. Jackpot 777. That's what they say. Thieves don't break into empty houses. That's right. Mariah didn't go through what she went through because she's not hold on one second. Oh, sorry. Mariah didn't go through what she went through. She went through something because she has a treasure. She is a treasure. And thieves don't break in. Sacred rage on the bottom of the deck. Thieves don't break into empty houses. Mariah didn't go through the shit that she went through, and they were doing the humiliation rituals on television when they made it seem like she was losing her mind, and she, when she had allegedly a drinking problem, these things, animal messenger on the bottom of the deck, these things were not for any reason. They weren't for, I'm sorry, Lord. These things weren't for no reason at all. She was messed with on purpose. She was messed with because she is a star child. She is carrying it. Yep. Curse, voodoo, spell work, hex. But it was be easy, not your intuition, next 3 days. Lights, camera, action. I wonder what that means, lights, camera, action. Well, eyes will be peeled. And maybe, if my messages are usually timeless. So if you find this in the future, again, this is kind of just for us star children, us gifted ones, us chosen ones, but it's also, lessons for us about the world and about, for artists and musicians and, just thinking about the choices that we make, messing with your intuition, clear thinking. Right? Because they're trying to influence her. They're trying to get her to surrender to their agenda and not the agenda that actually brings her life and beauty and fulfills her purpose as a siren. Next 3 days, Mariah, you might come across something of hers in the next 3 days if you see this somewhere in the future. But right now, in the next 3 days, I don't know. We'll see what that means. Because it does say wait. Things are not woven yet. But she is... Yeah. Gratitude and ears ringing. Yeah, her frequency. And we're grateful. So we send... we send our prayers to Mariah. Oh, let's get a sacred oracle of light. I did say I was going to do that. What we need to know about Mariah, but I feel that she's protected because what they tried to stop her from doing. So then you have that energy again of Mars and the Stargates and the compromised Stargates, the destroyed Stargates. People know the folklore about Mars and Earth and the pyramids and Orion and all of that. Like, she's connected to all that. Her ancestry, all of that. Like, they've known, clearly they always know who we are, but they knew who Mariah was before then. Oh shoot, this is cray. So violet fire, transmutation, detoxification, psychic vision, constant distraction. Yep. This flipped out in my hand. She's going to transmute that. But look what we got on the bottom of the deck, y'all. Soul, family, happy reunions, support, order from chaos. We are her support. for her ambition, her true higher self's ambition, her higher purpose, you know. And there's like austerity and fear here, this harshness, this afraid of like something coming back or repercussions or some kind of energy of austerity that's creating fear. But we're going to support her. We are her soul family. And ambition is the same color. I'm hearing that we should listen to her music and connect to her with her music. I have been listening to some of her music, and it was a lovely revisit to 1990s Mariah Carey. We have Sahikiel, which isn't even supposed to be in this deck. This is an angel card. So now this is the angel of the sky. So now I will read Sahakiel. And look out, when I got this card on the spring equinox, and there was a sun dog with the same thing. The sun, then a halo, then another halo. So I was pretty confident that that was a confirmation of the reading. All right. Sahakiel. Angel of sky, the shield bearer and the gatekeeper who stands outside the gateway between Angelarium and the expanse of existence, a benevolent figure whose compassion knows no bound or equal. Sahakiel blesses and protects. Yup. Blesses and protects, shielding us from storm and fire alike. The sky forms a ring around the earth many times over. Its movement forms the clouds, obscures the sun, and reminds us that Sahakiel stands guard. A shield, a ring, a blessing hand. And we had ears ringing. She's protected. She's definitely protected. But the sacred oracle of light card we got was Dharma Wheel 11. Karmic lessons, peer pressure, moral codes. That's exactly what this card is about. What and everything. Who you keep company with. Who you allow to influence you. What you choose to get involved with. You know, with our acquaintances, our friends, our family. Yeah, I think this is very, very, very good energy. I think Mariah, I think she's going to blow us away. I think she's going to make a comeback, or she's going to come into her own now. So she is protected, she is guided, she is watched over. And especially now that the entertainment business is kind of being exposed. And I don't want anything to happen to Mariah, because, you know, her catalog is probably fierce, you know what I mean, and worth a lot of money. And